Number 26, resolution urging the appropriate Senate committees to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation on the social, economic, and public health impacts of online gambling operations in the Philippines, especially among the youth and minors, aiming to strengthen the regulations that will protect the youth and minors from exposure to online gambling and holding online platforms, operators, and promoters accountable, introduced by Senator Camille Villar. And last but not the least, the privileged speech of Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri on online gambling delivered on July 30, 2025 and its manifestation. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Committee Secretary. For the record, the Chair notes that Senator Rafi Tulfo has likewise filed a Senate bill on the subject matter, which is still pending referral to this committee. And now please allow me to deliver my opening statement. My esteemed colleagues, distinguished government officials present, our fellow Filipinos watching these proceedings, good morning. Good morning. Narito po tayo ngayon upang harapin ang isang salot na sumisira sa ating mga tahanan, nagdudulot ng pagkakawatak-watak ng ating mga pamilya at kumikitil po sa kinakbukasan ng ating mga kabataan. Ang salot na ito, walang iba ay ang online gambling. Let me say this at the very start. It does not matter whether it is legal or illegal, licensed or unlicensed. Online gambling is destroying our lives. Itigil na po natin ito. Let us not sugarcoat the truth. Behind the glossy advertisements and the so-called regulation is a multi-billion peso industry that thrives on addiction. Addiction that drives fathers to abandon their responsibilities, push mothers into crippling debt, and leaves children to grow up in broken homes. We have students dropping out of school, not for lack of intelligence, but because online gambling consumes their time, allowance, and will to learn. We have workers whose productivity has collapsed, not out of laziness, but because they spend the night chasing their losses on their phones. We have families driven to ruin, individuals pushed to suicide because of this addiction. And yet, this industry persists sa ilalim pa ng mga lisensya ng gobyerno mismo ang nagbigay. PAGCOR, you were created to regulate and control games of chances, supposedly for the benefit of the nation. But no less than the Department of Finance recently reported that 60% of the online gambling operations are illegal. From September 2022 to August 6, 2025, 11,985 illegal online gambling sites have been identified, of which 6,363 are online casino games, 236 are offshore sites, and 4,813 are links for online sabong. More than 3,000 of these illegal online gambling sites remain active, and that is not even counting the unidentified platforms. PAGCOR, your continued licensing of online gambling operators has fueled this epidemic. You cannot claim innocence when your revenues are stained with tears of families you helped destroy. Research from the Senate Economic Planning Office reveals that PAGCOR's gross gaming revenue surged by 309% in 2024, mainly attributable to e-casinos and electronic games. That's approximately 100 billion pesos built on gambling and addiction. Pinagbabawal po natin o pinagbawalan natin ang Pogo, nagsilipatan naman sa Pigo. Ang masama, Pilipino mismo ang biktima at kawawa ngayon, unlike sa Pogo, mga Chinese at foreigners po ang biktima. Mas mahalaga ba ang bilyong-bilyong pisong kita kaysa sa pagkawasak ng maraming pamilyang Pilipino? Pagkasibak sa trabaho ng mga manggagawa o mga estudyante na tumigil sa pag-aaral? At ang pinakamasaklap at higit na hindi katanggap-tanggap ay ang pagkitil ng sariling buhay dahil sa sugal na pinapayagan po ng pamahalaan. DICT, You control our country's digital infrastructure. Yet these online gambling platforms continue to operate freely. Their servers running and their payment systems working uninterrupted. Where is the digital protection our people deserve? Paano napabayaan at lumaki ng ganito? Bakit kayo nagiging kasangkapan pa ng mga online gambling companies para wasakin ang buhay ng marami-rami nating kababayan? Bakit? To our law enforcement agencies, how many times have we seen raids announced only for these illegal operators to pop up again the next week, the next month, sometimes in the very same location? These people see this pattern, or the people see this pattern, and they are beginning to suspect, kulang lang ba kayo sa aksyon o meron kayong pinoprotektahan? Ano po ba ang kasagutan kung bakit hindi masugpo-sugpo ang illegal online gambling kasama na po ang online sabong? Bakit? Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is harsh, but it must be spoken as long as online gambling exists. We are breeding the next generation of addicts, debtors, and broken families. No amount of tax revenue can justify this human cost. Bilyon-bilyon man ang kitain po ng ating bayan mula sa online gambling. Ngunit kung ang katumbas naman ito ay pagkakawatak-watak ng mga pamilya at wasak na kinabukasan ng mga kabataan, wala rin po itong saysay. Right now, we face two policy paths: a complete ban on all forms of online gambling or stricter and more effective regulation. Kung ako lamang po ang tatanungin, I stand firm on this. We must shut it down completely. Ban it, criminalize it, block every platform, seize every server, and prosecute not only the operators but also the enablers in government and in the private sector who profit from this misery. Nevertheless, as the chairperson of this panel, I will be open to hearing the positions of all stakeholders who are responsible and affected by this industry. But let this committee send a strong message. The Philippines will not be a playground for gambling syndicates. Whether foreign or local, legal or illegal, our youth are not for sale. Our families are not collateral damage. We are legislators sworn to protect the people, and in the face of this crisis, there is only one moral choice, ladies and gentlemen: end online gambling now. Maraming salamat po. Before we acknowledge our resource persons,
or to raise funds and to regulate and to look into all kinds of gambling and gaming, kasi yan ang trabaho nyo. But tama naman po ang ating chairman that yung to regulate means also the illegal side, and this is where the balance of government comes in. Meaning, if PAGCOR and the Department of Finance are looking at mostly the revenue side, where is the rest of government? So let me give you an example. Taguig is blessed because in late 1990s, we passed an ordinance na bawal ang lahat ng klase ng sugal. So when Mayor Lani became mayor in 2010, wala po kaming casino, nilabanan po namin yan. Personally po, I was the one who put in the law of PAGCOR that the LGU ay kailangan pumayag. I'll go back to that, why that's important now in this discussion. So pati po sabungan, nakumbinsin namin mga kababayan namin, wala kaming sabungan. Bingo, hindi na rin namin binigyan ng lisensya. This is part kasi of teaching young people to work hard and have the right values, and that every single peso that God gives them is to be managed well. So at that point, I just want to honor and recognize a fighter against gambling, former CBCP President and the Archbishop Oscar Cruz, no? Sinabi niya to, many attempts are being made to legalize all forms of gambling even as casinos and lotto are now legal. But again, for us pastors, given the lure of gambling to the Filipino psyche, the legalization of organized gambling in order to raise funds, even for development, is a form of demoralization. When the rich gamble, this does not make gambling right. When the poor gamble, neither does this make gambling wrong. Gambling is wrong. To gamble one's money is wrong. To covet money through gambling is wrong. To launder gambling revenues by applying them to social projects is wrong. So Mr. Chairman, the point po dito kasi hanggang ngayon po nakumbinsi na namin po most kapag ka may patay, wag nang pumayag na may sakla, may terembe, may monte, or kung ano man yung mga hilig na sugal before kasi nandyan na DSWD, nandyan na yung local government na tumutulong sa panglibing. So kahit yung Cara Cruz po yung barya na Cara Cruz, hinuhuli ng pulis sa amin sa city namin. But the irony is, makikita nung mga bata yung Cara Cruz hinuhuli, pero yung illegal na isabong at kahit anong gaming pwede. The other irony is, casinos, sabungans, even lotto, may regulation how far from churches and schools. But actually, nag-CR lang yung isang estudyante, pwede siyang gumagamit, Mr. Chair, ng cellphone. So I'll end there, but the appeal is for us to come up with the right conclusion here because we're spending almost 1 trillion pesos on education. Yet, what we're teaching our people is that gambling, gaming, and addiction is okay kasi malaki naman ang kita. So let me end there and thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Online gambling is now a growing national crisis. That is why it behooves us to address this once and for all. And as this is more than just a game of chance, online gambling is a growing menace that threatens the very fabric of our society. Every day, people are not just risking their hard-earned money. They are putting their futures, families, and lives on the line. The lure of instant wealth has already led many down a path of addiction, death, and despair. We have seen too many cases, Mr. Chairman, where gambling deaths have resulted in broken families, suicides, disappearances, and even crimes such as fraud, money laundering, human trafficking, and worse. Isa pong halimbawa, Mr. Chairman, yung sumulat po sa amin dito sa ating opisina, isang ginang nalulong at matapos yung kanyang paggastos ng milyong-milyong piso, binenta na niya yung kanyang bahay at iba pang ari-arian, nag-max out na rin yung kanyang credit cards dahil sa kanyang pagkakalulong sa online gambling. Doon po sa isang lugar, isang 19 dito sa Pilipinas, sa Mindanao, 19 years old po estudyante, umabot sa mahigit kalahating milyong piso. Yung pong hindi niya mabayarang utang sa pagsusugal. Mag-aaral po siya. Meron pong isang pulis doon po sa amin sa Bulacan, sa San Miguel, Bulacan. Hinold up po yung LBC at nung in-interview po siya, ito'y dulot ng patong-patong na kanyang utang, bunsod ng online gambling. Mr. Chairman, the data speaks for itself, my dear colleagues. A 2023 survey conducted by research firm Capstone Intel revealed that 66% of young Filipinos aged 18 to 40 are involved in online gambling. Even middle-aged adults are involved. They were not spared. 57% of respondents aged 41 to 55 engaged in various online gambling activities. Nearly a third of users bet 2 to 3 times a week. And Mr. Chairman, some wagering up to 3,000 pesos per session. Even worse, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, our digital age has made gambling more accessible than ever. We now live an era where anyone with a smartphone effectively has a casino in their pocket, open 24/7. No dress code, no travel, just one click. These platforms are powered by sophisticated technology and aggressive marketing strategies designed not just to attract users, Mr. Chairman, but to keep them gambling longer and coming back more often. What's deeply troubling is that many of these platforms use psychological triggers. I wanted to emphasize this, Mr. Chairman. May psychological triggers na ginagamit. Manipulative design elements intended to encourage impulsive and compulsive behavior. Add to that, the integration of gambling platforms into widely used mobile apps has made it nearly impossible, Mr. Chairman, nearly impossible for families to shield their loved ones from this threat. And that's why this hearing is very important. Despite all these red flags, Mr. Chairman, we see gambling advertisements being pushed to our youth through social media, streaming platforms, and even influencer content, Mr. Chairman. Please, let me put emphasis on this. Even minors are exposed to these dangerous platforms, putting our youth at risk or early addiction and lost opportunities. May mga kabataan po na hindi pa nga ho po pwedeng bumoto, pero araw-araw exposed na sa sugal. We must ask ourselves, how did we allow this to happen? And let us be clear, online gambling is not just a matter of financial loss. It's strongly associated with serious mental and physical health issues, broken relationships, family conflict, increased cases of domestic violence and suicide, crime against persons and property, and ultimately, the erosion of opportunities and dignity in the lives of many Filipinos. Sa madali pong salita, Mr. Chairman, sa sugal po ay hindi lang salapi ang itinataya, pati kinabukasan ng pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya ngayong araw na ito, gusto po natin malaman, Mr. Chair, anong mga hakbang ba ang ginagawa ng pamahalaan para mapuksa ang lumalalang krisis dulot ng online gambling? Binan natin yung Pogo, nag-shine naman tong online gambling at binanggit nyo kanina, Mr. Chairman, this time around, Pilipino na ang talagang target, hindi lang mga banyaga. Paano minomonitor ng PAGCOR ang mga licenses nito para masigurong walang mga irregularidad na nakakalusot? Ano po bang mga polisiya ang dapat ipinapatupad ng mga e-wallet apps para hindi basta-basta nagkakaroon ng access ang mga kabataan sa gambling sites sa pamamagitan po ng kanilang apps? And I'm glad that Senator Alan is here being chairperson of the Committee on Banks dahil gusto ko natin maintindihan ano bang ginagawa ko nila. May mga e-wallets, may mga e-banks na rin, Mr. Chairman. Ilan lamang po ito sa nais nating matugunan ngayong araw na ito. And last but not the least, Mr. Chairman, ang tagal ko na hong legislator, 2 dekada mahigit na. Hanggang ngayon, gulong-gulo pa rin ako sa polisiya ng ating estado tungkol sa gambling, tungkol sa pagsusugal. Lahat illegal, pero pag dumating sa Kongreso, binigyan ng imprimatur, nagiging legal. Anong klaseng polisiya talaga yon? So hanggang ngayon, litong ho ako doon at sana